Hi, and welcome to Jack at the Movies. I'm your host, Jack Rhyme, and today we're continuing our look into the world of James Bond with Moonraker, the one of the last couple films to be influenced by Ian Fleming's novels, and the title of it, and would be the last time that you see in the poster Roger Moore as James Bond 007 in Ian Fleming's that way for the posters. But the premise of the film is a space shuttle called Moonraker, which is on loan to the British government by our government, the American government, which is on the back of a 747, has gone missing and has been hijacked. And Bond goes to investigate and try to find out who has stole it and who could be behind it. So it's up to him, teamed up with a beautiful CIA agent and NASA scientist, Dr. Holly Goodhead, played by Lois Childs, who had previously done, before this film, had been in the original Agatha Christie movie, Death on the Nile, in the original Death on the Nile movie, which came out in '78, starring Peter Ustinov and David Niven, who had starred in the unofficial James Bond film Casino Royale, which was a spoof. The whole film is a great movie. It's one of my dad's favorite James Bond films. It's one of mine also because, just like the previous three films, Live and Let Die, Man with a Golden Gun, and Spy Lummy, were influenced by different films, this film was influenced by Star Wars, which it came out at the same time in '77, but actually came out 2 months prior to the Spy Lummy. And originally, if you had saw the film, the Spy Lummy, it ends with James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. But because of the success of Star Wars in '77, they decided to change direction and do Moonraker, which, in the plot of the book, Moonraker, which it has our villain in both the book and the movie, Hugo Drax. In the book version, he builds a nuclear warhead with an ICBM, a Continental Ballistic Missile, target at London with an atomic warhead. And that is a bit passé. And you had just done a film where you have someone want to build an underwater city. So what if you change that underwater city and make it a floating globe in the sky? So they did that for the film. Michael Lonsdale, who plays our villain in this film, would actually appear in 2 other films. One starring with soon-to-be James Bond, Daniel Craig, and the man who would play one of our villains later in the film Munich, which would be one of his last couple films, and also starred opposite Jean Reno and the great actor Robert De Niro in Ronin, which came out in 1997. But we're not going to focus on that, but we're going to focus on one of my favorite moments from the film, and it's also a big science fiction moment, even though they're saying science fact through the whole damn movie, is when our guys, the American government, finds the base, and they decide to come in, and the cavalry comes. So, but here the footage is not owned by me. It's owned by MGM, United Artists, Eon Productions, Dan Jack, and Amazon. So here we go with the Moonraker attack on the base. Let's roll it.
Open the cargo doors.
Reference to 2001, because I think the actor who's in this had played
Number 1 platoon. EVA. Number 1 platoon. EVA.
And one of the reviews I watched of Moonraker being Joe Darlington and review on it, his buddy Scott said he thought this had reference of Thunderball because of the cavalry coming in and then fighting villains. I actually like that reference to Thunderball. To me, it's more of a reference to Star Wars than Thunderball. They use a lot of wires and when the actors were out there great miniatures and
by docking.
So what they did is they had Derek Mennings, who was their special effects supervisor, design this with help from Ken Adams, who had designed it as the art director and for the film and production designer. But for this special effects and miniature work, they actually did something called winding back the camera for filming. They did use rotoscoping. They used all the things they had under their all the tools they had in the toolbox. They didn't have CGI back then, or blue screen, or green.
Got him! Take the first landing!
Here they come.
Intruders have docked at Satellite 7, sir.
Double the guard at every entrance in this satellite. Report intruders' progress throughout the space station. Number 3 globe ready for launching, sir. Proceed!
Drax's plan is to destroy everybody on the Earth with these poison globes, which have a poison type thing that hurts us humans, but doesn't affect plants and animals. Which I call a bit crazy. Well, Bond villains are megalomaniacs, so they have to be a bit crazy.
Colonel Scott, don't shoot!
Hold your fire!
Good.
Corridor 5 penetrated. Intruders advancing on command satellite.
Here we go.
Maintenance crew needed section 3. Holding. Maintenance crew to our side.
For some of these blasters or space guns they actually use a bit of taking the real guns, but airsoft versions of them, and making these type of blasters, and also using I wish that Ben Bird or somebody at Lucasfilm ILM had done this one, because then they would have looked extra good and made this footage for the blasters and lasers great for the film. That's just my opinion. Here comes 007. Our villain who's looking like Blofeld, but a little bit different. I think originally it's something, but I'm glad it didn't do Blofeld.
At least I shall have the pleasure of putting you out of my misery. Desolated Mr. Bond.
Heartbroken, Mr. Drax.
Heartbroken, Mr. Drax.
Allow me.
Allow me.
Take a giant step for mankind.
Take a giant step for mankind.
The airlock sequence of him being put out of the airlock is also a bit of a reference to Alien, which just came out at the same time with Moonraker, so it was actually a little bit of an early thing to that movie. But this film is a great movie. It's a great movie. It actually brought a lot of young fans in who would later, when I was younger, I played the video games. So I wish that they had done more video games to help bring in a younger group. But if you have not seen Moonraker, go watch it on Amazon Prime, or if you have your original DVD, like this original special 007 edition DVD, or Blu-ray, or even watch it on Amazon Prime. It's a great movie, and I do recommend it. But we'll be back again with James Bond when he comes back to Earth in For Your Eyes Only. So, see you next time. And the name's Han. Jack Han. And like and subscribe to the channel.